Hey there, this is David Graham, EMC. I'm a corporate systems engineer with EMC's Atmos product group. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I actually got this little flip Ultra HD camera last night, so I gave it a shot in the car. Mark Farley, so proud of me. Though it's not on my steering wheel, it's on my dashboard, alright, so it makes it a little bit safer, in my opinion. Just figured I'd have a quick little chat here, kind of go over, in my mind, some of the big events of the year, both EMC and non-EMC, just to be fair. These are the ones that I can remember. Obviously there's more than that, but yeah, I think the year started out pretty cool with in the April time frame with obviously the Symmetrix VMAX introduction, this new virtual matrix architecture creation, right? So a number of engines scaling out, creating this kind of massive, or technically massive, storage capabilities there. Obviously, to follow on to that in May would be the introduction of vSphere, VMware's 4th generation product there. Came with a whole host of really cool stuff. The ability to do third-party storage I/O management, something like PowerPath Virtual Edition. Full support for DPM, not experimental. Full support for round-robin I/O queuing, not experimental. Creating kind of the framework for plugins, making it very much more extensible. Some of the cool tools that have come along with that. Obviously we had EMC World in May, which was great to meet a lot of you guys at the social media booth, working with Stu Miniman and everybody else, Ed Side, Devang, Chris Evans. Still missing Ian, still missing Martin out of this whole meet and greet type thing, but storage beers in the UK at some point, right? So I've got a couple along with that. We had the introduction of the UCS, Cisco's entry or foray, I should say, into the x86 server market. So UCS has a highly manageable or highly customizable or highly whatever scalable, there you go, product coupling Intel Nehalem architecture processors to the commodity x86 market, right, and creating an XML framework and a management framework around this that creates from everything I've read and everything I've been told, a pretty damn good experience for a server administrator, server and network administrator. Obviously, kind of overarching a lot of this stuff is the concept of fiber channel over Ethernet. Final standards being most of the final standards being ratified, but the concept of one wire to choke now instead of four, divergent fiber channel layers, divergent Ethernet layers, and having to manage these kind of disparate entities and all together. So really kind of that convergence, right? VMworld 2009, excellent show out there in San Francisco. Really kind of a cool highlight of that. We had in November we had the EMC, Cisco, and VMware Acadia announcement, which was really cool. A concept that you now can buy pre-configured blocks, that comprise of compute and storage resources, using EMC's Ionix UIM, Unified Infrastructure Management tool set, I believe that's right, to kind of wrap everything together in a pretty cool package, having a dedicated SE and support team that's going to be designed to work with that, obviously under the moniker of Acadia. Coupled with that, looking out at some of the other alliances within the industry, obviously NetApp, Microsoft, forming a pretty close relationship there. NetApp's ONTAP 8 released this year as well, so kudos to them for that introduction. Just at the the ball keeps rolling, right? Most recently, obviously, we had the EMC Fast announcement, which is our fully automated storage tiering. For argument's sake, it's a bit different than, let's say, some of the competitors in the market that do the exact same thing, 3 parts, wide element striping, or thin provisioning, utilization, whatever, and even compellents, automated storage tiering as well. So there's a different locus of control there. But this being put across 3 different product lines, really 2, but the Symmetrix VMAX line as being kind of the primary recipient of this, and then also the Clarion and Solera architectures in the mid-range product performance. There goes the camera. That benefit from the same type of technology as well. Just seeing where this is going to take. The concept here of being able to utilize your resources more effectively, I think, has been a call. It's been a kind of a call to arms for many customers for many years, right? You see that in the emergence of thin provisioning, even for the Clarion last year, and people using thin pools instead of using thick pools like they've always done. So that concept kind of continuing on. And this just being a logical extension of that now, and saying, hey, if you don't need to be on these faster spindles, why bother? Let's just play in the space where we need to be. So that's a really cool concept. I think we'll see a lot more traction gained in that. Whether it's EMC or whether it's another company, right? I think we'll see a lot of traction there within the market. From an Atmos perspective, the product that I get to deal with, I joined the Atmos team here in August, and it's been great to kind of get my hands dirty and see all the cool stuff that we're doing in the cloud space. We obviously have the online services component of things right now. So an online storage service called Atmos Online. We have a beta that's running right now for Atmos Compute. It's the ability to run your virtual machines in the cloud as well, structured around VMware, which is really exciting. We obviously have the Atmos product itself, which specializes in global data management, as it were, using policy engines and metadata as the driver of that policy. And I've written extensively about the uses of metadata within global data management over this past year. It's really kind of cool seeing all these things kind of connect together, right? How Atmos is able to interface, with our core products, as well as, how our core products are starting to look outwardly, and how they're trying to break down the constraints of data centers per se, and really give you the capability of running your data in a secure fashion. I would hope, and Chris, you can back me up on that, I'm sure, at some point. But ultimately, running this in a secure fashion, multi-tenant fashion, out in a public infrastructure, even being able to have some liberty here with how, what, and where your resources are being consumed and being used, and working up towards that vision is very exciting for us. So. I guess I'll sign off here, obviously with one camera tip off to the side. Gotta make sure that I'm actually staying on the road here. So, once again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and I look forward to a great 2010.